want to talk about discipline because a lot of us think, I'll freestyle this thing. But what does discipline look like for an athlete, especially on the days that you don't feel like it?
As for me, discipline for me is my position and my size in basketball. Discipline for me to keep up with my point guard on the floor is working on myself every day. Every day, I mean, the meals I take to keep my energy up. If you have bad knees like me, you have to keep on working on your legs to keep them strong. And as a center or a power forward, we tend to, have issues, injuries, knees the whole time. But when you work on your knees every day, when you work to take care of them every day, that's gonna carry you to the game. On days I'm not motivated, I just think when it has come down to my point guard is too tired and maybe she cannot drive after a screen, then I'm gonna get the rebound when she takes the shot. For you to get the rebound, you need strength in your legs. You need the energy to box out.
First, a basketball team is made up of 12 players. That means we are as strong as our weakest player, and we have to pull each other up. Anytime someone makes a mistake, we don't condemn them. We have to embrace that and put it in a way she will, hey, man, I did it wrong, but someone else saw it and they told me the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. So first, teamwork is very important because we are a team. We lose as a team and we also win as a team.
Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Cinnamon Beauty Podcast. This is a space where we recognize that beauty is so much more than what you see in the mirror. It's the resilience, the courage, and the faith we all carry inside. I'm your host, Lucky, and in this episode, we're talking about what it means to build a champion mindset. In the studio today, I'm joined by two beautiful women, and they're going to take us through their careers in sports as being professional athletes, and I'm so glad for this episode. In the studio, I have Stellah Nekesa and I have Mary Charlotte, the professional athletes, basketballers, and Stellah is a coach, coaching basketball when she's not on court. She's currently signed to Equity Hawks, and I'm so glad to have her here to kind of share with us what it actually takes to be a successful athlete and to be a champion. Thank you so much, Stellah and Mary, for joining me in the studio today.
Thank you.
I hope you're having a good day.
Yes,
I am, even though the weather isn't that accommodating, but you have to make it a good day, though.
Okay. Yeah. And Stellah, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
How are you yourself?
I'm good. It's been a busy morning for me, but I like the weather. It's shining. If you're in Nairobi, you know that it's been raining for the last few days, but today is really good weather. So I'm glad. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, sure.
So the reason I brought you on is a lot of people look at athletes. Professional athletes. Sometimes you look at the NFL, you look at the NBA, and you look at
NBA.
Yes, NBA, and you're like, how do these people get there?
Yeah, sure.
They make it look so easy that sometimes you're like, even me, I can do that.
Yeah.
But today, I actually wanted us to talk about what it means to be successful, what it means to be a champion, what the resilience that you need, the effort that it takes to become a successful athlete. Because yes, you can do it at a lower level, but once you've succeeded, because you've played across Africa, you've played in Uganda, you've played in Kenya, Tanzania, you've won championships in Malawi, Zambia, South Africa. Yeah. So it's that takes grit. It takes effort. It's not something that everyone can do. So that's what I wanted us to talk about today. So Stellah, especially, you've been playing basketball for over 12 years.
Yeah.
Now, your life must revolve around the sport. But who is Stellah outside basketball? Who are you without the game? Who is Stellah? Just tell us.
Okay, outside the game, I'm a mentor to the girls I coach currently. And I'm also a sister to 6 brothers. I'm a daughter. Stellah is a quiet girl. I don't like drama. I like cool mornings. And I'm just a champion. Like, I like winning. So I'm always cool and working hard towards building and making myself better each and every day of my life. Yeah.
So, Charlotte, tell me a little bit more about your journey in basketball, how it all started for you. How did you get into basketball? How did you get into it?
My journey in basketball hasn't been really smooth or beautiful. It's been a bit ugly to get to where I am today. And it started in primary school. In Western, during games time, there was always a rim at our parade square. And one day I just decided to take a ball. I actually got a football and started shooting on the hoop. But then the teacher came and told me, no, that's not the right one. You should get the basketball. So I started hooping every games time. At times I would be alone doing it. I didn't realize that was something that was, written down for me, what I was going to do for my coming years. So I just started it. And when I joined high school, the volleyball coach tried to get me on the team. The netball coach tried to get me on the team. And now when the basketball coach got to me, she told me, I don't want to see you in any other sport apart from basketball. So it kind of felt like she was limiting me. But looking back, she had seen something that I wasn't seeing in myself. And from high school, I got a call to USIU scholarship, and I couldn't let go of that chance. If you get a call to USIU, how can you say no? I mean, so I took up USIU, graduated in 2020, and I got my call for a scholarship in Malawi for my master's, and I took it up, and here I am today.
Wow, what
Yeah.
a journey.
Yeah.
See, because the way you said it is like it started out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
And I kind of feel, when I look back, I kind of feel that encouragement from that teacher that
yeah.
actually told you it's actually not this ball.
Yeah, it's that.
this ball.
Yeah.
That might seem like something small, but looking back on it, I think that's
led
where
up
that
to-
all started for
Yeah.
you, like that fascination with this game. Because
Yeah.
sometimes you ask yourself, how did I even think of putting this ball in the hoop?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see, yeah? But I think you see those moments. It's like people take those moments for granted. The moment that you encourage someone, because I'll just give a brief story. At my apartment building, there are lots of kids, and those kids can sometimes be a nuisance. Like
Very much.
they can be noisy,
Kids can get on
rowdy,
your nerves.
and all that. And I'm someone that really values my quiet.
Yeah.
But I have this thing in my mind that I'm not going to be the person that's going to
Limit them.
and make them see the world in a negative way. So every time they approach me, I try to be as friendly,
Yeah.
as open, because I
Big
feel like,
smile.
big smile, kind of, even when they ask me a silly question, I answer it as many times as they need me to, because
Yeah.
I have this thing of, in the small things that we do, you're making an impact in someone's life, even more than you know. And for me, that is evidently clear in
Yeah.
that story.
Yeah.
So now for both of you, I want us to go back to that high school, because you've achieved a lot along your career. You've played in different countries. I'm sure even monetarily, you've made achievements
Yeah.
in this game. What do you think the young Charlotte, the young Stellah would be most proud of that you've achieved today?
The young me would, when I was younger, I used to, in our class in primary and high school, I was the tallest and most awkward, let me just say, at that time and age. And looking back, young me would be so proud how much I take up space, because now when you walk into the room, you have to take up the space. Don't limit yourself because you're this tall and no one can not see you, Everyone has to see you when you walk in. So the young me would be so proud of how much space I've taken up with myself and just becoming the Charlotte that I am today. Yeah.
That's good.
being shy and awkward and
No, I relate. I
Yeah.
relate completely. I relate completely with that because you've seen how tall I am, right?
Yeah.
So it's growing up, it was a bit of an insecurity
Yeah,
for me
most-
because
oh my God.
I was very small. Actually, I put on some weight now, but
Yeah.
I was very small and very tall. And my sisters and my brothers, okay, my brothers are taller than me, but my sisters are not as tall. So at a certain, when I was younger, it was something to be proud of. My parents were like, "Oh, she's so tall, she's so tall." But then when I got to high school,
Teenagehood.
teenager, yes, you're at that age where you kind of want the attention from the
Yeah.
boys, you want people to, and I was so tall, like I got to a point where I would fold my legs. I would try to kind of
No.
break myself down so I could look shorter. And then over time, though, and then I played a lot of games. I tried out a lot of games. I was telling you earlier before we recorded that I'm not really that sporty. But because I was so tall, a lot of teachers and coaches would think, maybe she can play this.
Yeah.
Maybe she can play this.
Everyone assumes a tall person
people
should be
think,
in a sport.
assume that you have to play that
Yeah.
because you're tall. Even now, people ask me, why didn't you play basketball? Why didn't you do this? But it's just that it's never really been my thing. But I relate with you so much because I'm wearing heels now. I think they're
Yeah.
6-inch heels. And before I couldn't do that.
And
but
they'll
now,
tell you can
yeah,
you're already
even my
tall.
mom would be like, why are you wearing those long shoes? Like, where? But I
Tone
like
it
the way I
down.
feel when
Yeah.
I'm in heels. And since I've been in modeling and then pageantry and stuff like that, it's like, it gives me the extra boost I need.
Yeah.
So I am also proud of that. I think I can relate to that because that young girl, I'm sure, is very proud that you haven't
Very,
let
very
that
proud.
insecurity
Yeah.
stop you from achieving more. So Stellah, tell us about you. What's young Stellah? The young Stellah that joined maybe the basketball team. What would she be most proud of that you've achieved today?
First, she'll be proud, like, I never gave up. She never quitted. And the fact that I've come all the way ever since, like, I joined, I used to play handball in primary school, and my teacher used to trust in me, like, you're going places. So the moment he had, like, I switched from handball to basket, it was so heartbroken. But I told him, just trust me, I'll do better. So a few years back, like 2 years ago, I met him. I was so proud of me. So in St. Bridget's, that's where my journey started. The first time I touched a basketball, I used to think basket was netball, and I used to hate netball. Like, no, I can't do netball. It's either handball or football. But the first time I came into St. Bridget's, it really changed the picture that this is basketball. And the first time I touched the ball, it was so easy because it was easy transiting from handball to basketball because most of them, we used to dribble. So she'll be proud, like, I never quit. And the fact that I've gone different countries, different places with the basketball game, it's just amazing. And I'm sure she's so proud that I've come this far. And the fact that now I'm playing for the top team in the country is just a big achievement for me. And I'm very grateful for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you. I think I mentioned this earlier, though, that she's signed to Equity Hawks. And yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. So I don't know. For me, I want to make this clear in this conversation that in both your lives, I can see the impact that these teachers, trainers have had in your lives. They kind of, it's like a nudge, a subtle nudge that you need to push you. And I think all of us in life need such people.
Yeah.
People that tell you, because we all have those moments of doubt. At least I do.
Even the president.
Yes.
has.
Everyone has those moments of doubt where you're like, can I really do this thing? Like, maybe I'm lying to myself, you see. But then those people that subtly nudge you and they're like, you're playing with this thing, but you could actually, you're doing, maybe even your parents, maybe they never believed that you could actually travel.
True.
Yeah.
But now imagine that first day you came to them and you're like, I'm actually going to Malawi and it's basketball that's taking
On a
me.
fline.
Yeah, on a flight.
You'd be coming home late and they'd say, no, why are you late? You should quit basketball. It's not going to help you. And, the pressure and the teenagehood and so much going on. They'd be like, you should just quit now. When you come and tell them, I need to be on a flight to go, oh, congratulations. That's so good. We wish you well.
Now, live these days where people are just getting on and off flights. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
It's a
those
big
days,
deal.
getting on a plane was a big deal.
Very
Yeah.
It was a
deal.
big deal.
Yeah.
And for something that you love, something that's
Your passion.
a passion to take you there, to be like, I'm not taking money out of my pocket.
Everything else.
This
paid
thing
for,
is,
like,
this game, this
Yeah.
passion, this talent is
this
what
skill.
is taking me to this country. That's something to be proud of.
Very
Now, I
much.
want you guys to take me back. At what point did you feel that, actually, this thing, I can do something big with this basketball? Like, when did that shift for you, where basketball stopped being something you enjoyed doing, and you just thought, this is going somewhere. I can actually pursue this and achieve something with this. When did that happen? Where was that shift for you? When did that happen?
For me, I'd say my high school coach. There's the high school and when I joined USIU. So during high school, there was this specific training. I was a captain in high school because looking back, I'd like to look at it like my hard work, my consistency, pushing my teammates. Looking back, I'm not even half the person I was in high school. Like, I was a menace to my teammates. Sorry to say that. And they would hate me. But looking back, two of us made out of the team to like be successful in basketball. And we had a scrimmage match. And when we were done, I was thinking, when we were talking, the coach was talking to us in the circle. She said, Mary Charlotte keeps on standing out. You guys should keep emulating her. She picked a certain number of rebounds and blocks and making shots and making threes. And I was thinking to myself, I am the G, like this can go somewhere. And now carrying that to USIU, when I joined USIU, there was that culture shock. Like, that was the worst culture shock I've ever had. Moving from Western straight to Nairobi into USIU, like how, USIU, right?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, USIU, Strathmore, those types of universities. And when I got there, I wasn't as good as I thought. Like, everyone was working hard as twice, going to the gym, working on your strength, your skills. So I sat in that mess the first year, my junior year. Yeah, I sat in that mess. And now when I kept on seeing someone going to the gym, consistency, and we'd come to the game and I would see that this guy works hard and it shows in the game. I would pick up a basketball, the 12 to 2 p.m. sun. There's no shade at the basketball court. So I'd go work on my skills and people would ask, why are you busy? You're working through this. And later on, I started seeing the results in the game. Coach would keep playing me more because I was scoring, picking rebounds. That those 2 years, the first year in USIU and the second year really changed the trajectory of my life towards Malawi now. Looking back, I just needed 2 years. 2 years was even a lot. Just the first year was enough that I didn't realize. Yeah.
Okay. So that is when it shifted for
It
you that
hits me
this is
like,
actually
yeah.
something. And Stella?
First, there are two instances. So the first one happened in high school when I made my, like, I worked so hard and I made to the starting 12, the final team. And we were so lucky, like we worked so hard. And during that time, we qualified to go to East African Championship. That's when I realized, like, really basketball can take me like out of St. Bridget's, just there. It was a national school back in my village, but it can take me out of the country because the East African Championship was happening in Rwanda. That was the first time I traveled, like, from Kenya to Rwanda.
Yeah.
So it was a life-changing opportunity for me. And then the next thing that happened in campus, I went to African Nazarene University under scholarship, and we were playing against a good team, a top team in the league. And during that, it was my second year in campus. I played so well that I dropped like 20 plus points. And after the game, the national team coach came to me and was like, you belong to a big stage.
Yeah, 20 plus is
and
a
you're
lot.
going to be a very good player. And I
Yeah.
believed in him. And that was a turning point for me. And since that time, I've been doing so well. Yeah.
20. Where did the 20 go?
Now, you see,
Yeah.
your story reminds me especially of, there's this thing where there's where they say when you're a big fish in a small pond. But I think that moment when you moved to the university
Yeah.
and you realize that I'm actually if not a big deal
very
here.
small,
Yeah.
like-
Then you're like, I have to put in the effort.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people think that when you see someone that is successful at something, like a talented person, you always think maybe they're naturally talented. They were just born that way. They are naturally
born that way phrase.
Yeah. But the thing is, it takes a lot of effort to actually
Yeah.
become a champion.
Wow.
To say that I'm waking up at 4 in the morning, because I think when I was in boot camp for Miss Uganda, we were doing sports in the morning, and we'd have
Oh, yeah,
to.
it has to be part of
Yes,
it. Yeah.
we would wake up at 5, and I was like, why are they waking us up at this time? Why? Like, because you'd be so tired. First of all, you'd
Yeah.
go to bed really late because of practice and all this. Maybe you go to bed like maybe at 3 a.m., 1 a.m., and you have to get up in those those
Yeah.
hours, and you're like, why is this
Why?
happening?
Yeah.
But I think people neglect how much effort it takes to achieve, how much effort it takes to be excellent at something. Because someone might have seen you drop those 20 plus points, you see, and they're like, she's just a good player,
Yeah.
you see.
Yeah.
But it's, what does it take? What are you doing
get
behind the
there.
scenes to be this excellent player? Now, because you guys have competed across Africa.
Let's just say southern
Yeah.
part of Africa.
No, for me, let me tell you guys, a big deal to me,
Okay,
because you've
okay.
you've won championships, not
Yeah.
only just competed, because there's
Yeah.
just going there, but you've won championships in Malawi, Zambia, South Africa. So how did that change you? Like, how did that shape the woman that you are, the player that you are today? How did that experience of traveling across the continent change and shape you into the person that you are today?
Playing in a different country, different coaches, different players, different languages. You have to leave that you're used to and accommodate whatever
Adapt.
you're in. Yeah, accommodate and adapt. So I had a hard time like trying to learn languages and system of plays and trying to adapt to how this coach coaches, how this coach talks to us. So you have to live to like be open-minded, be ready to like take in whatever you have to take for you to like achieve the game or whatever goal you have for that day or whatever thing you want to do outside there. But for me, it helped me see the world differently because now I'm used to how we play in Kenya here. I think as Kenyans, we are more physical, like very physical. Going out there's some places that are twice physical, and there are some teams that are, very, very nice and too nice. And maybe the ref would lean more on their side and be like, no, you're too hard. But then it's just what you're used to. So it's that it helped me adapt to different, just from when I picked up from USIU, because there's different cultures, different languages, people from different countries. So that helped me prepare. I didn't realize it was helping me to prepare to like be out there and like meet different living styles or lifestyles and people and players and systems, game systems. It was, it really shaped me in so many ways that I didn't realize I could.
It exposed you
Yeah.
to the difference. And Stellah, tell us.
The experience and what I've learned is like basketball has given me a voice. Like it has given me I can stand, I can sit in the room, I can show up in a room and I know I belong here because I've worked to get to that point.
Yeah.
So it has really given me exposure in terms of like the Stellah I was 15 years ago back at St. Bridges and the Stellah I am. Actually, recently she just showed me a picture of me when the first time I came to Nairobi. I met her at USIU. That was my first time. And then we went to Kenyatta University.
You
They were
wouldn't wanna
playing the
see those
Kusa games.
photos.
I even laughed at my son. I was like, hey man, I don't want to remember.
Take it down right now.
Yeah, it has really changed me. The way I speak, the way I show up, the way I talk, it has really
The way you carry
impacted
yourself.
me because the way I do my things is so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's such a pleasure, I think, to see yourself grow.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people have this thing of hiding age, and then you're like, I'm younger than this. But for me, I like to see that growth because, and also the thing you mentioned that's really profound to me is people underestimate the power of being good at something. Because I listened to a podcast, it's called Aspire by Emma, and she recently released a new book. I'm actually very excited to read the book. It says Start With Yourself. But she talks about how it's important to be excellent at the thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
So now you see that basketball, there's a confidence it gives you because it's like, I might not be good at other things. I might not be good at dressing up. I might not be good at speaking. But when you put a ball in my hands,
I know what to do.
It's down. Like
Yeah.
it's finished. You
Yeah.
see. So for me, I always tell people it's important to find what you're excellent at because there's an extra boost that gives you in life.
Yeah.
You have like everyone might be like for me, it's like when it comes to things of beauty, dressing up, put me there. Put me there. You see, like I can wake up thinking that. You see, it's like people underestimate the importance of being good at something, but it's important to be excellent.
Yeah.
At least at one thing. Be excellent at one thing in your life. Don't always think being mediocre everywhere.
Yeah.
No, put in the effort and be excellent
Put
at
in the work.
something. Yeah. So for what would you say to young girls in Kenya that are maybe looking at basketball as something, like maybe a possible future for them? They're saying, I'm good at this, maybe. Where should they be going? What opportunities should they be looking out for? Which places should they be hanging out so that scouts will see them? The opportunities will come. What would you say to that young Kenyan girl that's looking at basketball as a possible future?
To the young girls, it's when you're young and trying to come into the sport or you're trying to show coach that you're good, you sometimes doubt yourself. It's always going to be there. The doubt is a liar. You just have to go over the doubt and, keep putting in the work, keep going to the local scrimmages, go to the court, because the local scrimmages are going to, maybe when they're on holiday in high school, most times, not really most times, but the young girls, most of us that have made it to the league and where we are today, it started in the high school exposure. When you play to a certain level, what's the organization? Is it an organization? How would I say? The KSSSSA, Kenya Secondary School Sports Association. Yeah. When you reach to a certain level, now scouts start recognizing you. They start coming to your matches, like the regional games. So when you put in the work when you're in school and you guys play to a certain level, when you get to that level, you're most definitely gonna be recognized. That's how we got it. I was in Kaimosi Girls High School, and our team and our year was the only team that made it to the regionals. That's when someone spotted me and they picked me. I mean, I wouldn't be here if we wouldn't have reached that level.
But also, I want to ask, just sorry to cut you short, because there's a lot of people, like girls, who think I can't make a career out of basketball. Maybe even at home, your parents are telling you this is just a hobby.
Especially family.
Yeah, a hobby. This is just a hobby. Like, I can't make a career out of this. Speak to that girl. How can she make, like, if she's really passionate about it, how can she make this a career? Like, how does she fight that? Because I know in the beginning, there's all that effort you have to put in.
Yeah.
until she's noticed, you've said, until at a certain level, then the scouts will start coming. But before she gets there, sometimes you can give up early on. You're like, this is not taking me anywhere. I need to get my head on straight, and start thinking about the future. You see? But what would you say to that girl? Just try to encourage her in some way.
I would say to her to move herself in places that she's gonna be made to do the work, put in the work. She shouldn't stay at one place. She should move to different places. By that I mean, okay, I'm talking to the high schooler girl, because from then that's when you grow and come up. You cannot skip the high school. I mean, there's some people who start basketball after high school and still make it, but then it's because they have the facilities, and if you have really good support and a support system, someone who has your back and investing in you, you're really gonna do good. But for the majority of the young girls in high school, just don't give up. Just keep looking, keep searching. Don't settle down to one place. When you go for the holidays, go to the scrimmages, attend games, attend tournaments, attend life skill classes, because at the end of the day, basketball is not basketball if you don't know who you are, and you don't know, you don't have the life skills you need to navigate through the basketball communities, because it's a whole new community that you have to look out for yourself and take care of yourself, because there's a lot going on when it comes to testing your morals in so many ways. Yeah.
So you basically to push yourself out of the comfort zone.
Push
yourself out of the comfort zone. Yeah, because I think a lot of us get stuck in the comfort zone. But
now I'm good in high school. I'm the best. I don't want to do this. If I would have been comfortable at that time when coach told me that, I would probably be, I don't know, being married with 5 kids or something. I'm sorry to use that example, but yeah, I would have been a whole different person than who I am.
No, I totally get you, because I think a lot of dreams die in the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Where you get so comfortable.
I'm good.
I'm good. Everything. And there are those moments.
Yeah.
I don't need to do this. I don't have to.
If I don't show up today, coach is going to put me in. I mean, he knows I'm good. But then someone comes and puts in the work, and they come and pass you, and they're like, oh, okay, I'm done. Now she's better. I don't want to compete with that. But yeah, just don't stay in your comfort zone. Don't be too comfortable. Yeah.
So in recent years, there's been this debate online about Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. People often say that I don't want to mention, but they say that one of the players is really good because he's hardworking, and the other one is really good because he's naturally talented. So what would you say, is natural talent overrated? Is it overrated, or what actually makes someone, an athlete, successful? Is it talent, or do they have to put in the work as well?
Talent is not enough. Talent is like when you have a race car, okay, a nice car, but you don't have the fuel. The talent is the car. But then for you to fuel the talent, it's like you have to put in the work, the consistency, the everyday, the discipline, the hard work, the emotional maturity, everything else. The talent is just the entrance fee. What do you do with your entrance fee after you're inside the room? When you get to the room, what do you bring to the table? So talent is truly not enough. It's never going to be enough. Yeah.
Nekesa, is that okay if I call you that?
Yeah, sure.
As a coach, do you see a lot of kids that think talent is everything? And what would you say to that? How would you gauge them? Because I'm sure as a coach, there's a lot of kids that are naturally talented. And then there's the one you see, she's working hard, but somehow it's not adding up. Things like that. So what would you say in this conversation?
First, on the first question, I would say just the way she said, that show up. It starts by you. Show up to those camps, the free camps that are being organized, especially during the holiday, like the FEB Academy.
Especially for high school.
Yeah, they organize a lot just to engage the kids and the youth. So show up first, and then associate yourself with relevant people. There's no you want to go pro, and then you're busy hanging around people mediocre people. Show up to those talents. associate yourself with different coaches that you know they can really help you get to your destiny. And then on the second question, like I've had different kids. Someone can show up and like, coach, the drill that you're showing me, I already know how to dribble. Tell me something different. And sometimes it's hard to deal with such kids. But sometimes I just call them on this. I have to stop training, literally. Actually, it happened last week. I have to stop and just talk to them, my friend. I know you know this, but there is a reason why I'm telling you to do this. That consistency.
There's a reason
I
why
can't
you have
remember
a
how many
coach.
times I've had to go for layups, like how many
million
laps every day
times.
you show up and coach is like, I want 50 laps in 5 minutes. So just show up, yes, but be ready to learn. Talent alone won't pay off. You have to put in the work, the discipline, and the consistency. That's one thing that is really killing our athletes in this current generation. Be consistent in what you do and just be disciplined. Humble yourself and be ready to learn. Yeah.
No, I
Just
think,
to-
yes, just
to add on to Stellah's, talent actually gets you there, but what you do with that talent is gonna keep you there. We can all get there, but then are you gonna stay there? What you do, the daily input, the consistency, the work, the boring hours, the 50 layups in 2 minutes is what's gonna keep you there.
No, I relate to that, and that isn't only in sports. I think a lot of people, they overestimate the value of talent. Talent is good, it's important, but if you don't work on that talent to improve it, because things are changing. The basketball of maybe 100 years is not the basketball of today.
Even 5 years
Yeah,
ago.
you have to evolve. What new thing can I do to strengthen my knees?
Yeah.
What do I need to do to increase my resilience? Because I know as athletes, you need a lot of resilience in a game. You need to stay until you get tired and stuff like So it's like, yes.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Like I used to think like I'm a good power forward. The moment I transitioned to from campus to the outside world, it really shocked me because the moment I went to Uganda, the coach expected me to play small forward. That's 3-man and 2-man. That means I had to work on my handles, and the same thing has happened in Equity.
Yeah.
The coach is like, my friend, I want you to play 3 or 2. That is it, because this is where you're good at, and I'm a left-handed, so you have to be all-round player. You don't have to be comfortable. Like, just because for her, she plays center. Just because I'm a center, I don't need to dribble that ball. There's a point guard is marked.
Being held,
You are supposed to bring that ball. So you have to be all-round player. That means you have to work on each and every skill.
So basically what I'm getting from this is you're constantly learning, constantly improving, because I think that's
constantly changing.
Yeah, you're constantly changing, because a lot of people, you have this thing, I already know, like you talked about your student. Me, I know, why are you wasting my time on that? But I think that openness and willingness to learn and always be learning, always be in that state of I'm always learning. I think it plays a big role when you want to achieve and really achieve and be there, because I'm sure even, let's say Cristiano, I'm sure he's still learning.
Yeah, sure.
Even being the best basketballer, he's still learning. He's still learning something new. So I think that's important.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about discipline, because a lot of us think, I'll freestyle this thing. But what does discipline look like for an athlete, especially on the days that you don't feel like it? Let's say you have to wake up for a training thing. On those days, those days you don't feel like, what's the thing where do you go back in your mind and you're like, Charlotte, you have to do this. Like, what does discipline look like?
As for me, discipline for me is my position and my size in basketball. Discipline for me to keep up with my point guard on the floor is working on myself every day. Every day, I mean the meals I take to keep my energy up. If you have bad knees like me, you have to keep on working on your legs to keep them strong. And as a center or a power forward, we tend to, have issues, injuries, knees the whole time. But when you work on your knees every day, when you work to take care of them every day, that's gonna carry you to the game. On days I'm not motivated, I just think when it has come down to my point guard is too tired and maybe she cannot drive after a screen, then I'm gonna get the rebound when she takes the shot. For you to get that rebound, you need strength in your legs. You need the energy to box out the opponent for you to get the ball. So for me, I'm motivated because I know my size. Like I understand what my size comes with in basketball. If I'm too comfortable, then I'm gonna be dragging the whole team. If you drag the whole team, coach is gonna put you out. You're gonna sit outside and watch your teammates play, enjoy the game, and you're gonna resent him. But then at the end of the day, it's you that has done this to yourself. So for me, when I'm not feeling motivated, it's just it's my body, it's myself. Right now when I'm not playing any team right now in the KBF, I still train every day. Because when I get that call from a team, when I get to the team training or a match, they know my history of playing outside. You're this good player, you picked this number of rebounds, made this number of points, made this number of runs, steals and blocks. They're going to expect that. While I'm seated and waiting for the call to come and start training, when I get the call, I'm going to show something different. They're going to be like, no, we don't need you now because, you're not giving us what we expected you to give. So while I'm still even seated outside and don't have a team yet, I still train every day. I try my best to push myself every day,
Like you have to be ready. You have to keep
you have to
yourself
stay
ready.
Yeah. And that comes down to every day, the meals you take, taking care of yourself, the ice baths and going to the gym, working on your little muscles that lead up to the
Ice
huge
bath.
muscles. Yeah.
I've seen people do those ice
They are
plunges
good for you.
online. But
Yeah.
because
That's why-
even is it taking even a cold shower
Yeah.
for me?
2 minutes is like a whole 20 minutes.
But I think it's something I'll try. I'll try it this year maybe
You
because
should.
because I see people do the ice baths and stuff. But hey, so now Stella, I wanted you to go deeper for us in this thing, because one thing I respect about athletes is your teamwork. And I think a lot of people, we are in a day and age where everyone is like me. How am I feeling? But how does teamwork play in as an athlete? What role does it play? Because you see, she said something about if she doesn't work on herself, she'll be dragging the whole team because she's not good at, if she's not playing well, the whole team will suffer.
Yeah.
So as a coach, from your perspective, how does teamwork play into the whole thing of being an athlete? Because I'm sure you have players who are so good that they have this thing, I don't have to come even to practice, I don't have to come for this event, whatever. So what would you say to that? Because I think teamwork plays a big role for athletes. Like you have to, because if you're not working on yourself, if you're not working hard, if you're not taking criticism, because now let's say, Charlotte, you come and tell Stellah, today your game it was a bit off. How do you take that criticism? Because a lot of us are not willing to take criticism, even in normal day-to-day.
Yeah.
Like, so how does teamwork play? What role does teamwork play for an athlete?
First, a basketball team is made up of 12 players. That means we are as strong as our weakest player, and we have to pull each other up. Anytime someone makes a mistake, we don't condemn them. We have to embrace that and put it in a way like she will, hey, man, I did it wrong, but someone else saw it and they told me the right thing to do. So first, teamwork is very important because we are a team. We lose as a team and we also win as a team. What I would say is just do your role. As a point guard, take care of the ball. As a big man, get those rebounds. As a 3-man, shoot that ball and make sure you score. So that means we need to work. It's a system. If our point guard is not doing well that day, that means we're in trouble. We have to pull her up. We have to find out what is working for us. And as a coach, you need to be very ready for such situations because there's a time your player will be off. There's a time she'll be on. So as a coach, you have to be prepared for such event. And that means it can't just happen during the game, the normal championship. That's why you have to make each and every player to be ready to play anytime, you see. Because sometimes I see most coaches, they tend to focus more on they're good players and they tend to
Yeah.
forget about the rest
The weak
eight.
ones.
The weak ones. And it gets to a point, our point guard, our big man has 5 fouls. That means they can't keep playing. You
Or
have to
maybe they're
bring in that
overworked and
one
tired.
player that you don't trust them.
Yeah.
So it's also part of the team. That's part of teamwork. Don't make it so obvious. Like, I don't trust you. Make it like, if worst comes to worst, then you have to be a utility player. That means you have to stand up. If Mary Charles has fouled out, you're the one to stand up for the
her
team.
position.
Go in there and deliver. Yeah.
I'm enjoying this conversation.
Me too.
But the thing is, you see teamwork, even in corporate spaces, offices, people have this thing of me, me, me. And I think that's why most times during interviews, they'll ask you how you play in a team. How do you work in a team? Because sometimes you don't notice that if I'm failing here, I'm affecting. Like sometimes you have to recognize that your decisions are affecting a lot more people than you. Because sometimes you have this thing, I went out last night, I have a hangover, I'm not going to go for this drill.
Yeah.
But how do you know? Like maybe your best player might get an injury that day and you need to replace that
And
player.
you're the replacement.
And you're the replacement. How will you fill the shoes of that player if you're not ready? You see? So I think for me, that is, I think people need to, teamwork is something that's very important. Like, don't only think about yourself, think about how your decisions are affecting your other people in your life, not only you.
Yeah.
But then, I know we're running out of time, but I really wanted to talk about this. How has basketball shaped your confidence as a woman? Because I'm sure there's a certain confidence that you have because you're a basketballer and you're a successful basketballer, you're a coach. Even there's this confidence I think you bring into the room when you're coaching your students and things like that. So how has basketball affected your confidence?
It has really boosted my confidence because playing maybe in a different place where the crowd is wild or the crowd is against you, you have to take it, like find it in yourself to like block the noise and the negative talks. Someone in the stands would be targeting you, they'd be targeting specific players who are doing the most in quotes, that are, scoring the most, doing like picking rebounds. You have to find it in yourself to like fill up that space in your mind and in the game, and it has really made me confident in a way that most female players, let me just say most female players, it changes you in a way that it positions you in a way that you can be a very good and firm leader, because the trainings and the mental exhaustion, not the exhaustion, but mental toughness, and you train yourself through that every day. It leads up to the bigger times in the games where the crowd is against you. You can work through it.
You develop a thick skin.
Yeah, you develop a thick skin to like, you can do this, even though there's certain things. Someone can actually say a word in the stands and you'd want to turn your head and be like, really? But you don't have time for that. If you do that, that's a weak spot someone has picked up. Your opponent is probably going to get the ball and score, and the coach is going to be mad, and you're going to put the team in trouble. So it has helped me like just take up more space without even having to say a word. When you walk in a room, you're confident and you become a better team player. You can sit down people and talk to them and actually lead them into a certain direction. So it has really changed me, being a shy girl back then, and I was super awkward because of my height, I'm not gonna lie. But looking back, and even my classmates, if I meet them right now, they're gonna be like, this is a whole different Charlotte right now. So it has really boosted my confidence in the better way. And
wow, that's beautiful. Stellah, tell us, how has basketball affected your confidence, and how has it boosted your confidence?
Okay, I would say first, basketball has really helped me work with my confidence, first. And it has also like helped me know what to say, when to say, and how to say it whenever I have different people from different countries, different people on different levels. So it has really worked on, I've really worked on my self-esteem, because now I know anytime, and also as a HR profession, I know I can enter a room and negotiate about a contract. I can read through the contract and I can clearly say, like, this doesn't align with my value, or this is not working in line with what I want. So that means I have the confidence to stand up for myself and show up like, and I deserve better.
Yeah,
You
this
see,
is
now I can,
mine.
I'm a big believer in how you do something is how you do everything. For me, I believe that even like for me, I'm not into sports so much, but I go to the gym, and that discipline I carry in the gym, the resilience, I see that I carry it in everything that I do. Whether it's time management, and I think for you athletes, it's even more like time management, the what you eat, what you don't eat. Like there's that resilience you have, like you could be tired, but somehow in your mind you're like, I can do this, I can do
done
this,
this
I can
before a
do this. You
million
see,
times.
so it's like
I can tell you, like currently, like I'm coaching. So during the day, I'm always at school coaching the kids. Then in the evening, I remember, hey man, I have to go for the equity training. I'm so tired, but I have to show up. That's discipline.
Coach doesn't care if you're a
you have
coach
to show up
kids.
and deliver.
He needs you there.
100%.
No, I completely agree, because I think a lot of people think, oh, I'll be like, I'll relax here. Then no, how you do everything is how you will do everything. If you don't have the discipline, you will not put that discipline somewhere else.
And you see, like, if much is given, much is also expected. So you cannot afford to give out a raw deal. No.
Mediocre, because you're gonna get
To
mediocre.
be honest, like for me, when I look on my life before I started working out, I was so, how do you say in economics? Laissez-faire. You just let things just happen. Like everything.
Just let them be.
But for me these days, I'm so intentional about everything. If I want to do this podcast, I plan everything about this podcast. So it's
in
like
detail.
So discipline is really important. And I think people neglect how important that is. One of the things I was so excited to ask Stellah today is I noticed kids these days are a bit soft. You know, we have mental health, we have you have to gentle parenting and all this. You have to listen to them, the kids, because even in parenting we've seen that change. But before, because I played a bit of sports when I was in school, though not too much, coaches were really ruthless. Coaches they were rigid, tough.
Oh my God.
Like you can't mess around. Like if I wake you up at 3, you're getting up with no questions asked and stuff. So I wanted to ask you, because you're a coach, I wanted to ask, how has coaching evolved over the years? What has changed now that for you when you started, it was different, and you see now it has changed now as how you coach your kids?
Yeah, the way I was trained the hard way. Personally, I went through the hard way, the hard system. But now you see, it has already changed. Like, this is how it is. Accept it and move on. A long time ago, it was like my way. The coach will yell at you, will abuse you, will make you run. But nowadays, you do that, the kid won't show up the next day. So you have to be tough, yes, but soft at the same time. When I'm dealing with the girls, you see, girls, they come with different emotions. Sometimes I have to reduce myself to their level and just have a normal conversation, relationship-wise. How is home? How are you doing? Like, as a coach current, like, you have to be tough, yes, but soft. When I'm teaching you, like, I have to be ready as a coach to listen to you, to listen to your opinion. So that's one thing that I find it hard during that time when I was transiting from being a player to a coach, because as a player you react, you tell people, why are you telling me this? But as a coach, I have to explain to you. I have to listen first and then explain to you for you to learn. Then I have to accept, like, allow the kid to make a mistake for me to correct. Allow them to make those mistakes. Actually, sometimes I tell them, because I have a specific thing that I'm working to, I tell you to shoot. I'm not looking at the end goal of the shot. I'm looking at the right mechanic. Are you putting the follow through? Are you lifting your toes? Are you tucking in your elbow? So as a coach, this current generation, you have to deal like psychologically. And a lot is happening current in this Gen Z world. the kids are going through a lot. You see
Tell
the
me.
kid and
Mental health,
maybe
yeah.
the parents at home, they're not in good terms. Maybe they had a fight. The kid doesn't have enough time with the parent. So that's the only place they find peace. So you have to make that environment as comfortable as possible for them to even show up the next day. So allow yourself to listen to them, just even listen if it's not making sense to you. And don't show them like, it's my way.
No, I do. That's why I asked. That's why I asked, because a lot has changed in this day and age. A lot of
changing.
A lot of things kids get away with today, you wouldn't get away with them in our time. Even with parenting and a lot of that. And I think that's a step in a good direction, because sometimes I feel not two individuals are the same. Sometimes you have this thing of one size fits all, but the thing is, one player, she might not be as good as the other player in something else, but there's a way you can reach that player in a certain way, like what you said. Maybe they're experiencing some issues at home and somehow it's translating into how they are playing. And as a coach, before, coaches never used to understand that, like, how do I... I don't care. But now it's like, how do I get to the level, like you said, get to this kid's level, understand where they're coming from, so that...
and then one more thing is like, how to say something? Like nowadays, coaching has really changed, because after the game, we never used to watch ourselves play. Currency is happening, but in this current generation, especially the CBCCC, we have the resources. So sometimes I create time during one of the training days. I just tell them, you're going to watch videos of our previous game. We're going to watch videos on what we'll work on tomorrow, so that as they go home, they know tomorrow we're going to learn how to slide, how to play defense. So you see, it's more videos. You have to watch films. You have to watch those. You have to allow yourself, like, just to grow,
so that they see themselves.
Yeah, and I think also as a coach, you need to be open to changing times, because I think there's a lot of technology even now. I think even AI. I would think that AI, like, there's a way you can kind of do a simulation of the game before you actually play it. You're like, okay, if they play like this, it will come.
Give you,
So I think you have to be open as a coach to the changing environment, not just be stuck in your ways of, may I have to beat this kid, I have to beat them. And
so you're gonna make them leave at the end of the day.
Flexibility is very
and a lot, I think, flexibility in everything, flexibility.
And also emotional intelligence as a coach, and patience, and how you communicate, how you accommodate them. Because now then, you're not just a coach, you're a coach, a counselor, a friend, you're the therapist, you're everything. So you really have to embody that to, like, accommodate the kids, the young kids.
Okay. Do you think women's basketball in Africa is getting the recognition it deserves?
Well, let's just start with Madina. Do you know Madina?
No, I don't.
She's just made it to the WNBA. She's from Kenya, Western Mumias. I mean, that's like, let's just start there and leave it there. Because she, putting Madina aside, the women's basketball is not getting as much recognition as the guys. If you go on Google right now and put in Kenyan Basketball Federation, the results are gonna come for the men's and where they reached. Now, as you go lower, now you're gonna see the women. If they put that, you can just try it right now. But I don't think women's basketball get enough recognition. We put in the work, we play till Afrobasket, but then they dim us and then, put the men into the light. But it's been different right now. I mean, having someone from Kenya in the WNBA, it's going to change. It has to change.
It will change. It will change.
It has to change. Yeah.
So I had a few things I was curious about for you, Stellah. Just quickly, I'm just going to ask you quickly because we're running out of time. But I want you to be honest with these questions. Can you make a real living from basketball in Africa?
Not really. I would say yes, but not in Kenya. Currently, as we speak,
locally?
No, locally, no. But outside the country, I've made a living out of the basketball contract, yes. Different countries, like let's say Egypt, they're paying. Rwanda, they're paying good money. And outside Africa, it's paying off if you manage yourself to get a good contract with a good team. yes, in Africa, it's not paying off as we speak more, but I think we are heading there
Yeah.
as time goes by. So let's hope things will change in the near future. But as
Let's
Kenyan
hope we
basketball,
change.
we need to do better to encourage because we have a lot of good talents. But now the parent ask you, what are you going? Because you can't keep asking your mom and dad transport every day, going for the games, go for the trainings. They'll ask you, what are you gaining from that game? And you know very well we have good talents. We need to motivate this young generation so that as they grow up, they know, hey man, after high school, I think I can do this as I continue pursuing my career.
Yeah.
So we need to monetize the talent as much as possible. Currently, we're not doing well
Yeah,
as a
We're
country.
getting there.
Yeah.
We're
Okay, I
getting
think we
there.
will get there.
Yeah,
And
we
now
are.
the exposure that we have from Medina, you said that
Yeah.
she's now playing internationally.
Yeah.
I think that will slowly, baby steps, will get there.
And in Kenya, if you have to make a living, then maybe you get yourself a team, then a job. You see, you
Or
have to
side
compensate it
hustle.
with a job
Yeah.
for you to make it
Especially women.
survive. Yeah.
Okay.
It's tough.
So as a coach, do you have favorite players?
Yes, I'll say I have favorite
But do you
players.
show it like openly?
No, I try as much as possible not to show because I believe we coaches do, but great coaches they play winners. If you work hard, if even it's happening, even me, I've had coaches who are favorites, and some of them have shown me, hey, like I have favorite, but some of them are very creative. So as a coach, yes, I do have favorites, but this favorite have to prove it. Like if I give you my playing time, then you have to show me like you deserve that
it,
playing
yeah.
time. So you have to put in the work. You have to be consistent in training, not just showing up for, sometimes you can just show up for training just to show up. I showed up for training, I didn't miss, but there's someone who missed training, but the following day when they show up, they put in double the effort. You see, now you have to prove yourself, like make it hard for the coach to bench you.
Yeah.
That's how you're gonna become a very coach's favorite. Yeah, I believe in hard work. I believe in consistency. I believe in discipline. Because as a coach, if I tell you go in there and play good defense, make sure that person scoring, they're not scoring, and you go in there and you do that. Tell me why you want to be my favorite. Just follow
It
instructions.
is mostly the reliable players. Yeah.
We've talked about natural talent, and I think we can all agree that it's not enough to succeed.
Yep.
But what would you say to that? Is natural talent enough to succeed?
No, it's not enough because, as we said earlier, discipline, consistency, hard work. You are born naturally talented as a basketball player, but what does it take for you to stand out? I can give a good example of Medina. Medina started like 6 years ago, as we all know, but she has really she has gone over and above, like the whole world's now talking. It wasn't just she woke up, then she became. You have to put in the work. You have to work behind the scenes. So by the time you come, the 90% that we don't see should be on you. But the 10% that we see, the injuries, the Aja Wilson posting on Instagram, that's just little of themselves. But the 90%, you have to work behind the scenes. You have to put in the work. You have to make sacrifices. Like sacrifice that sleep and go to the show up for training, go for those morning runs, go to the gym. Yeah, sometimes you might have to go inside your pocket and pay for that gym session, pay for that physio. Yes.
But it's worth it at the end of the day.
No, I'm glad that you brought that up because I think a lot of people, you only focus on that 10%. You're seeing a player, they're so good.
The trophies, the winning,
but you don't see the person that's waking up at 3 to go to the gym, the person that's doesn't have the money, but they're trying to make it to this training session. Maybe they're walking there. Maybe they don't have the Uber and they're walking there to that field, to that court. But for you, you're thinking, they're naturally talented. They are naturally like that. But I think I'm glad that you brought that up, that people see only the 10%. It's like how we see Instagram. You see only the good parts of someone's life, the edited, the whatever, hashtag whatever, hashtag this. But you don't see the struggle that it actually takes to be a champion, to actually excel at something. And so I think a lot more people need to realize that there's a behind the scenes to the champion that you're seeing in the news, on the podcasts and all that. So what's the biggest lie about being an athlete? that people need to know? What's the biggest lie?
Okay, go first.
What's the biggest lie?
The glamour and the that it's easy. You guys get on a flight and go, but it's really ugly. Like, it's really ugly behind the scenes. Behind the glamour, it's the injuries. You might make a wrong move, and that one bad fall, that's the end of you. So it's I don't know. People think it's glamorous when they see you playing well and making 20 plus points. They think it's all sunshine and rainbows,
Fun and games.
Yeah, but then it's not really a walk in the park. It's putting your body on the line every day. If you don't recover, that's a consequence. If you recover, there's also a positive consequence. So it's not really glamour as people see it. It's really your mind and your body. It's a battle, constant battle between your mind and your body every day. Sometimes they're on the same page. Sometimes the body wants, but the mind doesn't want. Some days the mind wants to, but then you're too tired to even move to go get that cup of water and take, So it's not all glamour. That's what people just think.
No, I think that's I like that you brought that up, because we know this show Wags. I think it's real housewives, real wives and girlfriends of and you look at all these NFL players, you look at these NBA players, they're making this money, private
big houses,
houses, and you are like, I want that. But most people are not willing to put in the work that it actually takes, because what you've said is true. One fall on court, you could lose your whole career from there.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that yes, you might look at me from the outside that I am successful, I am doing this, but it takes a lot. And also the workouts, the preparation. It's like, I have to prepare my body to take those hits
every day,
because it's not like when I fall, if I'm working out, that fall will not hurt as hard as someone who has never fallen before. Maybe you've never even fallen before. So I think we need to give more credit to the behind the scenes, like the work that these people actually put into. Like, you guys put in a lot of work, and I respect athletes for that, because there's a certain resilience that athletes have that
you cannot get.
Yeah, you cannot get, because one, I could just fall. I could just fall on court. Maybe someone steps on me on a bad point, and they're like, "We're cutting off your leg," or we're doing this. You see, so I feel like that needs to be spoken about more, because I think a lot of people are so bewitched by the glamour and all these nice things, the trophies and all this.
And trips.
Yeah. But I think also that's why, as Africa, we need to work on the monetary aspect of players, because they're really putting their lives on the line. Yeah. And if you're not compensating them enough to actually make up for that,
then it's just
because there's someone being so good, and maybe the ball lands somewhere on a vein, and they become paralyzed. They become paralyzed.
And you see, like in Africa, like literally, especially for the girls, we have like lifespan of us playing. We won't play up to 35, 40.
Or 50.
So by the time someone gets to 16, at least if I'm earning at 16, then I have a reason to put in the work at 20, at 25, during that prime time. It really motivates, like, personally, it motivates me showing up, because I know I'm going to be paid.
No, I think we need to work on the monetary aspect, because I feel any athlete in any game, you're putting your life on the line, and I feel you need to be compensated for that. So now just okay, yes, please, sorry.
Go to the next point. One thing that is overlooked a lot is athletes' mental health. And just recently, I was going through a couple of articles, and not even coaches or your fellow teammates realize how much mental baggage or strain someone goes through, to just show up every day, in a certain way or at certain levels. But a lot of athletes today struggle with mental health. And I think many organizations should really push up the agenda to look into mental health, not just showing up to training, attending gyms. We should also sit down or consult each other, or even group therapy, to just talk let's just leave the game aside for today or for like 30 minutes and just talk about yourself and the game and your mental health. I think that would really change the game a lot. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think, okay, in recent years, there's been a lot of talk about mental health and how it affects our day to day. But I think for athletes, they need to talk up. We need to like advocate for it more, because I think, you know, there's this misconception of athletes have to be strong.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, you have
you
to
cannot.
be.
You have no
Yeah,
room
you
to
can't
be
be
weak.
weak. You see,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
this athlete needs to have a place where they can come and lay down all their burdens
Yeah.
and tell someone that I'm actually going, I don't have the rent money, I don't have the money even for the transport, food. Like, so how do you expect a player who is in such a place emotionally?
A really good player.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a really good player who is in such a place emotionally to bring their A game.
Yeah.
Of course, maybe they will be good, but maybe they could have been better, you see. So, yeah, as we come to the close of the, I know I really enjoyed
I
this.
know.
And it's just, I feel like we could go on and on and on.
Yeah.
But I wanted us to go quickly through the rapid fire. So now for the rapid fire, you just have to, the first thing that comes to your mind is the answer that I want you to give me. So
Okay.
shooting guard or small forward?
Small forward.
Small forward.
Why? Why is that?
Because a small forward could shoot. A small forward could get the rebound. You know, a small forward is versatile. They have a lot that
More
they can
chances
do.
of
But a
scoring.
shooting guard is just
Limited.
shooting, period. You cannot leave the 3-point arc and sink inside to the centers, because then you're gonna get bullied. I don't know is there a shooting guard in Africa that is 6'3" or 6'2"? I haven't seen, maybe I haven't encountered, but usually most times the shooting guards are a bit less, not less in size, but a bit smaller. Let me just say that, yeah, compared to the forwards and the centers. So as for me, it's the small forward.
You too? Okay. Offense or defense?
Defense.
Okay. Game day nerves or excitement?
Nerves.
I would say both for me. You?
Both, but nerves, that means like you care.
You're usually
You're-
nervous.
You're like you sometimes, yeah, you care. Because my first game actually in Equity, I was so nervous, like I need to prove to coach like I deserve this. The people are watching. So yeah, it kind of shows you care, but don't be too nervous that you forget to
If
play.
you're too nervous, you're gonna ruin the whole thing. Like,
No, I get that, but I think anytime you're doing something that's important to you,
Yeah.
there's always those
That's
nerves in the beginning. But like we talked about earlier, as long as you've prepared,
the preparation.
as long as you've prepared, somehow the nerves will die down as you're doing something. So I think, yeah, that's
the
key.
excitement
Yeah.
is from the preparation.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready, so I'm really excited to see what my work is gonna.
No, because as long as something is important to you, you always have that fear of what if I fail?
Yeah.
You see, yeah. Tough coach or soft coach?
Tough. No way I'm gonna be tough inside the paint and then come out to a soft coach. No.
And you?
Yeah, tough coach, but soft.
That's like you want both.
Yeah, you have to balance.
There's
Yeah.
a tough coach in the sense that there's tough coaches that just yell with no, you know, with no
Okay.
context. You're just yelling, like yell with a reason.
Okay, you can be
Sometimes
tough.
it can get into your head and it's just yelling,
Yeah.
yell.
Personally,
with
I'm a tough
purpose.
coach when it's time for training. You have to follow my instruction, because now these kids, if you show them like you're soft, my friend, I
Because you
won't
want
even go
results
for
at
that.
the end of the
Yes,
day.
and
Yeah.
the management also want results. So you have to be a tough coach. But outside the court, who are you? Like, can I have a conversation with you, coach? Can I talk to you like I'm going through something?
You're tough, but you're approachable.
Yeah, okay, that's
you're
the right word.
approachable,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Favorite country you've played in?
I'll say South Africa.
Why? Why is that? Because I've not
Because-
been to South Africa, but it looks really beautiful.
Yeah, okay, the airport was so nice. Okay, but the championship, the fact that I was the same team with her, we
played
played
in
for
the same
Bravehearts
team, yeah.
and we won. The energy was just so nice, like the teammates' energy. We really played like we really wanted from day one up to the last day, and it was so nice.
Nice. That's good. South Africa too?
Okay. I have 3. The first one I haven't played yet, Senegal. I really want to experience basketball in Senegal so much because of the culture and how they value women basketball there, you know. I want to experience the toughness. I want to experience a 6'7" opponent against me, because on a good day I'm 6'2", but on a bad day I'm 5'11", 6", you know. So I want to experience that. And second one was Malawi. Malawi really helped me get out of my comfort zone. To some level, I got back, but then I got out of it, because when I went to Malawi, I had really gained a lot of weight from the COVID. So when I went there and you know, the everyday picking up, it has shaped me in how I see the game today. And then the other one is Zambia and South Africa. They're on the same level.
You have so many things. One move every player should master.
Jump shot.
Jab step, jab and attack. It gives you options. You can attack, you can take that shot, you can pass off. Jab.
A jab step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the ball, jump stop, jab. Yeah.
I'm learning a bit of sports lingo.
For me, it's the jump shot.
Jump shot. Why?
When you read the defense well, you can always take your shot. You can always take your shot when the clock is on 2 or 1 second or even a millisecond. You can always let the ball go if you have it from anywhere, literally. Yeah.
I've really enjoyed this conversation. I think we could go on and on, but sadly, we have to come to an end.
Okay.
But just before we close, what are your parting words? What's something that you feel every aspiring athlete should know from your experience, from all your experiences? What's one thing you feel maybe the 15-year-old girl there, she's playing in high school, what do you think should be the thing that she knows that maybe most people might not tell her, but you feel that it has helped you in your experience? It's something that you have learned along the way. What's that one thing you would say?
To trust in themselves, trust in whatever they want to be good at, and just take up space. When you take up space and you probably don't know something, it's gonna follow you and it's gonna find you. So just take up your space. Don't limit yourself. Don't belittle yourself. Look at yourself as the most important person in the room. It doesn't matter who the president is there or whoever is there. Just believe in yourself and take up space.
You're enough. I think that's one thing I've always said to myself, that you're enough as you are. Trust in your abilities, and no one is better than you.
Yeah.
You're also not better than anyone else. So just trust in that I'm good enough to be here, to be in this room.
Yeah.
Stellah, what are your parting words?
Okay, first, trust the process. It won't come easy. Just trust the process, each day at a time. Trust the growth. It won't be easy, but believe in yourself and show up when you're needed to, and associate yourself with relevant people. If you want to go to USIU, how do you get there? Go to USIU games, just randomly. Just show up and talk to that coach. If you have to text a coach, then text respectively. This coach, go direct to the point. What do you want?
Yeah.
This and this and this. Don't go beating around the bush, but you know what you want. So show up to those games. Work so hard and get to those nationals and East African games, because that's where you will get the scouting people for the scholarship and even most opportunities. Play hard, and then if you have to play in Kenya like KBF teams, associate yourself with good teams like Equity, Swish, KPS, ZTech, because from there you have higher chances of you getting to be noticed. So just go out of your way and work hard.
Something else people overlook is embracing the losses. When maybe you've been working hard to get to a certain game and you guys lose, you always have to take something from the loss, because you did something differently or it went a different way for the result to be a loss. So when we embrace the losses, we take note from that, you learn from that, you don't put it aside because you lost. Now you forget about it. You have to face it for you to get the win. So let's just embrace our losses. Yeah, they make us better eventually. They're actually foundation to you getting to the win. You cannot always win. You always have to lose at some point. At the end of the day, at the end of a match, there's always a winner and a loser. You can't both win or you can't both lose.
No, I always say this. Most of the lessons that I've had in my life have been from failure. It's the biggest lessons that have projected my life forward have
Yeah.
been from failing.
Yeah.
And I've had quite a few of those. But one thing I've noticed that in failure, there's always a lesson there. There's always a lesson in that failure. Like,
Yeah.
just take a few moments to think about it. Think about it in detail and be like, why did I fail? What did I do? Because there's always a lesson there. It's either it's not the right time, maybe you did something differently, maybe you just weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to learn from the failures.
Okay.
So there's so many gems that we've shared in this episode, and I believe that any aspiring athlete can learn a lot from this. They can learn a lot from this. And I think this is like big sister
Yeah.
advice that you will probably never get anywhere
Yeah.
else,
Yeah.
but you're getting it here.
Yeah.
So thank you again for joining me today on the Cinnamon Beauty Podcast. In this podcast, we want to show you that it's not just about what you look like. It's about that extra thing that you have about you, that resilience, that power, the effort you put in. Are you trying? Are you trying hard enough to achieve that thing that you say that you want?
Yeah.
I'm so glad to have you again on this podcast. And
you.
if you liked this episode and you feel that this episode can encourage someone else out there, please feel free to share it with them and share, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet to the Cinnamon Beauty Podcast, you're missing out. And it also shows us that you actually like the episodes that we're bringing, the guests that we're bringing. You could also suggest guests that you want us to bring on. So it's a way of you supporting what we're doing.
Yeah.
And as always, sending you my love and endless blessings. Stay fabulous.
Thank you.